The sun rises slowly over New York Harbor, cutting through thick Atlantic fog. Cold air hangs above the water as light begins to reflect off wooden piers. Ships crowd the harbor, their masts forming a forest against the pale sky. Sailing vessels rest beside steamships, symbols of an age caught between eras. Dock workers arrive before most of the city wakes. They step onto damp planks, boots worn thin by years of labor. Crates of food, coal, and manufactured goods are unloaded by hand. The work is heavy, repetitive, and unforgiving. The sound of the harbor defines the morning. Chains rattle, ropes scrape against wood, and orders echo across the docks. Steam hisses from engines while gulls circle overhead. The smell is unmistakable: salt water, wet timber, coal smoke, and fish. This waterfront is the city's lifeline. Nearly everything New York consumes passes through these docks. Food for markets, fuel for homes, and materials for construction arrive daily. People arrive here too, carrying hopes, fears, and few possessions. As the morning advances, activity spreads inland. Horse-drawn wagons roll off the piers toward warehouses and markets. Their wheels bounce violently over uneven cobblestones. Drivers shout warnings as pedestrians weave through traffic. The streets closest to the harbor are narrow and crowded. Buildings rise tightly together, blocking much of the sunlight. Shops open their shutters, revealing dark interiors and simple displays. Painted signs hang above doorways, advertising goods and services. Laundry stretches between upper windows, fluttering in the breeze. Water drips onto the street below, mixing with mud and manure. Street cleaners work steadily, but the city produces waste faster than it disappears. Cleanliness is an ongoing struggle in such a dense environment. Homes for ordinary people are small and functional. Most families live in rented rooms within large tenement buildings. These structures are built quickly, often with little concern for comfort. Space is limited, and privacy is rare. Inside, rooms serve multiple purposes. Sleeping, eating, and working all happen within the same few square feet. Furniture is minimal, often handmade or repaired many times. Walls are bare, and floors creak under constant use. Water must be fetched from shared pumps or courtyards. Carrying buckets upstairs is part of daily life. Indoor plumbing is uncommon for the working class. Bathing happens infrequently, often with cold water. Morning meals are simple and repetitive. Bread, leftover food, or thin porridge are common choices. Meat is expensive and rarely eaten by poorer families. Meals are about survival, not enjoyment. Oil lamps remain lit even after sunrise. Natural light struggles to reach lower floors. Smoke from cooking fires and coal stoves lingers in the air. Ventilation is poor, making rooms hot and uncomfortable. Children begin their day early as well. Many do not attend school regularly. Instead, they help support their families through work. Some run errands, others work in factories or workshops. Factories dominate much of the city's economy. Large brick buildings house machines that operate all day. Inside, the noise is overwhelming. Belts spin, gears grind, and metal strikes metal repeatedly. Workers stand for long hours performing the same task. Breaks are short, and conditions are harsh. The air is thick with dust, fibers, or smoke. Protective equipment is minimal or non-existent. Injuries are common in these environments. A moment of distraction can cause serious harm. When injuries happen, workers often lose their income. Medical care is costly and limited. Beyond factories, other forms of work fill the city. Clerks, messengers, and office workers move quickly through business districts. They carry papers, messages, and financial records. Telegraph wires stretch overhead, connecting offices across the city. These districts feel different from industrial areas. Streets are slightly wider and cleaner. Businesses rely on information, not physical labor. Money flows rapidly through these neighborhoods. Markets become busier as the day progresses. Vendors arrange their goods carefully on wooden stalls. Fish, vegetables, bread, and fruit are displayed openly. Prices are shouted loudly to attract customers. Shoppers inspect goods closely before buying. Freshness matters because spoilage happens quickly. Ice blocks, delivered daily, help preserve food. Without refrigeration, timing is critical. Newspapers circulate constantly through the streets. They carry news from around the country and the world. Advertisements promise opportunity, products, and entertainment. Rumors spread just as quickly as facts. Street life grows louder by midday. Traffic slows as intersections become clogged with wagons. Horses grow restless in the heat and noise. Drivers argue over right-of-way. The ground underfoot is often slippery. Mud, waste, and water mix into an unpleasant surface. Footwear wears out quickly under these conditions. Shoes are repaired often rather than replaced. Inside tenement buildings, midday offers little relief. Rooms heat up as the sun rises higher. Fresh air is scarce, especially on lower floors. Disease spreads easily in these crowded conditions. Illness is a constant concern. Cholera, tuberculosis, and other diseases are common. Many families rely on home remedies and luck. Doctors are called only when absolutely necessary. Despite these hardships, communities form strong connections. Neighbors rely on one another for support. Food, information, and assistance are shared when possible. Social life often takes place in shared spaces. Streets, stoops, and small shops become meeting points. People exchange news and advice throughout the day. Children play wherever space allows. Even in difficult conditions, life continues with energy. By early afternoon, the city is fully awake. Every street reflects a different pace of life. Work, trade, and movement define each moment. New York is expanding rapidly, both physically and socially. This constant activity shapes the city's identity. Growth brings opportunity, but also strain. The contrast between wealth and poverty is already visible, and the day is far from over. As afternoon moves forward, differences within the city become clearer. Only a short distance separates hardship from comfort. Some neighborhoods struggle to survive, while others display confidence and wealth. Uptown streets feel calmer and more orderly. Buildings are wider, cleaner, and better maintained. Sunlight reaches the ground more easily here. The air smells less of smoke and waste. Homes in these areas are spacious and carefully furnished. Large windows allow light to flood interior rooms. Furniture is decorative as well as functional. Walls are covered with artwork, mirrors, and patterned wallpaper. Households of wealth rely on domestic labor. Cooks, cleaners, and servants work long hours behind the scenes. Their tasks begin early and end late. Comfort for some depends on invisible labor from others. Meals in these homes are elaborate and structured. Fresh meat, vegetables, and imported goods appear regularly. Dining is a social ritual, not just survival. Time is available for leisure and conversation. Elsewhere, working-class neighborhoods continue without pause. Factories maintain steady output throughout the afternoon. Markets remain busy as people purchase food for evening meals. Children return from errands or long work shifts. As daylight begins to fade, the city changes again. Workplaces release waves of exhausted laborers. Streets briefly overflow with people heading home. Voices rise as the day's pressure finally releases. Shops begin closing for the night. Wooden shutters slam down over windows. Merchants count earnings by lamplight. Unfinished business is saved for tomorrow. Gas lamps flicker to life along main streets. Their warm glow replaces the fading sun. Light pools beneath each lamp, leaving darkness between them. These lamps make night possible, but not safe. Taverns and social halls fill quickly after sunset. They serve as places of escape and connection. People gather to drink, argue, and share stories. Music spills into the streets from open doors. Alcohol offers brief relief from daily struggles. For many, it is the only affordable entertainment. Conversations range from politics to personal troubles. Laughter and tension coexist in these spaces. Public entertainment grows increasingly popular. Theaters attract crowds seeking distraction and spectacle. Performances offer humor, drama, and illusion. Tickets vary in price, limiting access for many. Not everyone participates in nightlife. Some families remain indoors to conserve money. Evening meals are simple and repetitive. Soup, bread, and leftovers dominate dinner tables. Coal stoves provide heat as temperatures drop. Smoke fills rooms, clinging to clothing and walls. Windows are opened briefly despite the cold. Fresh air remains a luxury. Children find small moments to play before sleep. Games take place in narrow hallways or streets. Laughter echoes briefly before exhaustion takes over. Beds are shared, and rest comes quickly. As night deepens, another workforce emerges. Street vendors sell food to late workers. Night watchmen patrol blocks slowly and methodically. Police maintain order where they can. Crime increases under cover of darkness. Poor lighting and overcrowding create opportunity. Pickpockets and thieves move carefully through crowds. Safety depends on awareness and luck. Some industries never stop operating. Newspapers prepare early editions through the night. Printing presses rumble while headlines are set. Information moves quickly in a growing city. Transportation continues after dark. Carriages carry passengers between neighborhoods. Horses work long hours regardless of daylight. Street noise never fully disappears. The harbor remains active even at night. Ships arrive with cargo under moonlight. Dock workers unload goods by lantern glow. Commerce never truly sleeps. Late-night labor supports the city's constant growth. Maintenance crews repair roads and infrastructure. Cleaners remove waste before morning returns. Preparation for tomorrow begins immediately. By midnight, activity finally slows in some areas. Gas lamps dim as fewer people remain outside. Shadows stretch across empty streets. Silence becomes noticeable, but temporary. Within homes, the city rests unevenly. Some sleep comfortably in quiet rooms. Others lie awake amid noise and heat. Rest is shaped by circumstance. New York is built on contrast. Wealth and poverty exist side by side. Opportunity and hardship are inseparable here. This tension fuels the city's identity. Every object, street, and building tells a story. Daily routines reveal how people adapt and endure. Life here demands resilience and effort. Survival itself is an achievement. By early morning, the cycle will begin again. Docks will fill with workers. Streets will crowd with movement. Homes will wake with quiet urgency. This is not a city of pause. It is a city of momentum. Growth reshapes it constantly. The future is always under construction. This is daily life in New York City, 1880.